APR versus APY. This is really important to know. As you know, I've been scaling a blue chip portfolio on Beefy, really just to use as an example as to what's possible and how hands-off you can get with this. Again, the education and the entry is super important. But it's just kind of a fun example, and I'm playing with it. Again, it's a percentage of my portfolio, and I really want to show you what's possible with Beefy. Now, I do recommend you go to the native DEX just because you want to know how to use it. Beefy does glitch sometimes, and maybe you can remove off Beefy, but you can't bring it back into stable, so you have to go on over to the native DEX and do your thing over there, and I think it's just important to know. But anywho, I don't want you to copy this. It's why I'm choosing blue chip, good old boring pairs here. Bitcoins, Matics, and ETHs make up most of this portfolio. This is massively overestimated, and I don't expect to get these kind of returns consistently here every single day over the entire year. To think that I could on Bitcoins and ETHs is foolish. I'm happy with 80 or 100%, maybe like 150% APY, but we need to know the difference between APR and APY. By the way, if you want me to do a deep dive on the back end of Beefy and even show you kind of in case you're fun, like in case you have to go to the native DEX to use, I could kind of walk you through it. I'd be happy to do a video. Just let me know in the comments below if that's of interest to you. But I want you to know the difference between this. So this is saying 542% APY, and if it's compounded daily, that's the same as 186% APR. If you compound it daily, that's the same as 542% APY if, again, those returns were consistent over an entire year, which is unrealistic, but it just gives us an idea. So I just need you to know that Beefy estimates things in APY, which makes it seem super, super sexy, and it definitely inflates a lot of this. Now, that said, I do like Beefy because it's compounding it for me. I'm super hands-off, and all of these assets I want to hold for the long term anyway, except for OVN USD Plus. That's just been a cash cow moneymaker for the last couple months. Actually, super, super ridiculous. It's been probably the play that's made me the most amount of money over the last little bit because we bought it pretty early and it also shot up in price like crazy. But apart from that, be crazy to think that you can do 542% on Bitcoin ETH. In fact, you can't. So Beefy does inflate this, so just be aware of that. But again, even if I was doing 80 or 100% on Bitcoin ETHs, I'm laughing to the bank. That's a very consistent cash flow, and I keep scaling my portfolio because of it, plus the deposited amount in terms of dollar value keeps going up because we've been buying a lot of these during this correction. And even if we crash down further, I'm not worried about it because I'm holding Bitcoin and ETH for the long term. Bitcoin's going to be a 120K asset. Please let me know if this lands. Please let me know in the comments. We constantly talk about this in the UIG on a daily basis, and we drive this point home. Bitcoin's going to be a 120K plus coin. So who cares if it's 60 or 40 or 30 or 70? It's going to be a 120K plus coin. Now, if you subscribe to that idea and you've done your research to know, hey, this ain't going anywhere, then there's no point to freak out. In fact, it's just simply time to buy more. And that's just how I look at this. Like, we were getting into the Bitcoin USD CE. This is, again, not accurate, so be aware. Beefy is a little glitchy. I'm not up $9,000, but if I refresh it, it'll probably show a realistic. There we go. I'm up $110. What's really cool is it compares it to what if you just held. Now, I really just started getting into this over the last few days, and today was my biggest kind of entry into it. As you can see, I went from having $2,500 in it to added some more. Now I got 12.2. So this isn't really accurate. This number is going to be a lot bigger over the next couple days. But just compared to hold, I'm already up $25. So if I just held some Bitcoin and USDC, I would be $25 poorer than I am now. Now, compounded over time, you can imagine what this number starts looking at, especially when the markets are kind of uncertain and they're just kind of doing their thing. I also have a bull run portfolio, and I hold a ton of Bitcoin and a ton of ETH. So how I see it is I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds here. I want to be clear that your portfolio, stablecoin is a position. Please in the comments let me know, and just let me know you got this. Come join the UIG if you need community and you need this message hammered every single day. Cash is a position. Check. So stablecoins is a position. It's okay if, in fact, it's good to have stablecoin in your portfolio, even if it's not making you a return, because you can jump on opportunities. So you take profits as the markets are green and you put them in stable. Let me know if that's it. Check, thumb up this video. 2, blue chips, big cap, very nice to have in your portfolio, whether you're just buying, holding, or whether you've got them in some like lower yield kind of pools and yield farms, or you're earning some yield on it, or you're just staking it. It adds a little bit of buffer to your portfolio when prices start swinging widely on mid cap or even low cap stuff that's earning you a high return. Your portfolio swings less with it. It adds some stability into your portfolio. And then you can have a portion of your portfolio made up of higher return, higher APY, higher APR type stuff. And your portfolio is going to fluctuate. Let me know if you want a video on this, because I could literally show you some example portfolios that we can use as kind of a template. But the more the markets go green, the more your portfolio is probably going to have stables, and you're going to be taking profit. Maybe the more, you're in kind of blue chip stuff and you're sort of kind of Now, the more red the market gets, probably the less stable coins you'll have. You'll deploy those profits into whatever season we're in. If we're gearing up for altcoins, then you might load up on alts, and you might even be in some positions that are more mid cap, low cap type stuff. Maybe the market is pretty boring and you're just going to go good old safe Bitcoins or Matics or ETHs or any of the big blue chips, the top 8, 9, 10 on coin market cap. And you're just going to slow and steady earn yields on it. Now, that's just up to you, your risk tolerance, how much you want to earn, where you're going with it, what you're doing. But the point is, a well-diversified portfolio will have stables in it. It will have blue chips in it. Don't get greedy. Don't just chase yields, because you will get hurt. I can promise you that. You will get hurt. Sending you a ton of good vibes. I want you to win. I want you to win so freaking bad. So I'm going to send you a ton of good vibes. Every dollar counts. Every dollar is like a little soldier going to battle for you. Don't turn your nose up at $10, $50, $100. I was just talking to someone. We were celebrating them. They're at $250 a month. And we were celebrating like crazy, because that's $250 that's coming to them without actually having to put in manual labor hours. And they calculated, they're like, that earns me a day. I get like a paid day off. And like, that's the mentality we want, because now we can get for 2 days. Okay, let's get to $1,000 a month. Now you earn a whole week back. So many times we want to jump from like, oh, I'm earning nothing to I want to make $500 per day. And then we get anxious because that gap is big. There's going to be knowledge and education and stuff we have to learn. And if we're not patient learning that stuff, give this thing 3 months, 6 months, study it. I just see this culture in crypto that is like, I just want it now because I'm entitled and I want to get rich off some meme. And I'm like, this is why you suck. And I say that with love. This is why we're sucking. It's going to take a pursuit of mastery in this stuff to really get the result that we desire, which that might be, 10 grand a month or 5 grand a month or 50 grand a month. We have people doing 5 grand a day in fast track, 5 grand a day. Now, yes, they have a lot of liquidity. They've had a lot of capital to put into this, but they're doing 5K a day. And it's like, cool. Mind is blown. We had someone with over $10 million in fast track who was deploying capital, and we were honored to serve them and help them. There's people playing this at massive scales. Start with where you're at. Don't compare yourself to those people. Use it as inspiration. Oh my God, he's got 55K in Beefy, and that's just a portion of his portfolio. That's so awesome. Use it as inspiration, but don't let this defeat you of, oh, I need $5,000, $5,500 to earn this. No, start with $557 and start nice and slow. Let's celebrate $10 a month. It's a big thing to celebrate. You're learning. As you get more capital, you can keep scaling it. Invest in the skill set first, then worry about scale. I'm saying this because I want you to win. Let me know if it makes sense in the comments. If you want more on Beefy or anything on this front, let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for some really cool stuff we're releasing. Really, really excited. A lot of free stuff, and we're doing some massive upgrades in the UIG right now. Plus, we're going to have an upfront membership fee coming out pretty soon, so you do pay a lump sum upfront. If you're already in the UIG, we're going to bypass that and you're just going to be a member for as long as you stay. For members that will be joining very soon, there's going to be a lump sum payment up front. We're doing that to kind of weed out those who are actually serious and those who aren't. But if you want to get in at a bit of a discount, then that would be a good time to jump in. So I'll just leave that with you. You do what you want with that. And with that said, I'll leave some videos on the four corners of my screen. Do check them out. We're into building financial freedom. And to get financial freedom, you have to know your number. And all we're doing here is your passive income exceeds your expenses. Once you do that, you're financially free. It's not a net worth number. We want cash flow. If you're into cash flow and you want to do it through DeFi, stay tuned for this channel. With that said, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you. Peace.